Hello, everybody, and we're back for a second game here between the White Sox and Orioles. The Orioles traveled to Chicago on April 20th, 1955. Here's the starting lineup for the Baltimore Orioles. Leading off, playing center field, Baby Doll Jacobson. Batting second, playing right field, Harry Rice. Batting third, playing first base, George Sisler. Batting fourth, playing left field, Ken Williams. Batting fifth, doing the catching is Hank Severin. Batting sixth, playing second base is Marty McManus. Batting seventh, playing third base is Roland Harland Clift. Batting eighth, playing shortstop Bobby Wallace. And batting ninth, doing the pitching is HOYT Wilhelm. Take a look here at the Chicago White Sox starting lineup here. We got leading off, playing shortstop Luke Appling. Batting second, playing second is Eddie Collins. Batting third, playing first base is Zeke Bonaire. Batting fourth, playing center field, Carl Reynolds. Batting fifth, playing left field, Minnie Miosa. Batting sixth, playing right field is Bib Falk. Batting seventh, playing third base is Buck Weaver. Batting eighth, doing the catching is Sherman Lawler. Batting ninth and doing the pitching is Frank Smith. Let's get down here to the field and get this game started. And we got Baby Doll Jacobson to lead it off against Frank Smith. Baby Doll's batting a .167, no homers and no RBIs. This is Frank Smith's 1909 season. He pitched in 51 games and started 40. And they didn't have a record back in those days, I guess, to look it up. So he's 1.8 ERA. Here's the pitch to Baby Doll. And that's going to be a base hit in, I believe, right field. Yep, that's a base hit. Jacobs in the right field to start this game off for the Orioles. So leadoff batters aboard here. And that brings up Rice now with a runner down at first, nobody out. And Harry Rice is batting .250 on the year. No homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes on Rice. Can he take advantage of the 2-0 count? And he sure does. He squares this one up, folks. This looks like the first game we had today. That ball is high. That ball is far. Could that be a home run, folks, against a righty at 20? No, he keeps that one in the yard. That's going to be a double in the center field. That one just missed being a home run. Rice down at second. Couldn't quite square that one up. Now you got runners on first and third. Let's see here if I look this up right. Sorry, he's got a G, not an H. That is a home run. Yeah, he's got the G, not the H on a 20. So that is a home run, folks. That ball was launched. So I looked at the wrong thing. I'm glad I re-looked at it. Yeah, he has a G. So that's a home run by Rice. Gives the Orioles a 2-0 lead here in the first inning. But they had that the last game, folks. That brings up Sisler now with nobody on and nobody out. And George Sisler is batting .333, no homers and 2 RBIs. And that ball is well hit. Orioles starting off just like they did in the first game today on April 19th. And that ball is hit into the gap in right field. And Sisler's got himself a double. So George down at second. Still nobody out for Ken Williams. Frank Smith struggling out of the gate here for the White Sox. And Mr. Williams is batting .500. He's got a homer and 3 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. 15 on a 1. That's going to be fielding column 2. That'll get the runner down to third. Only plays over to first. So now you got another run down at third with one out for the catcher, Hanks. Let's see if old Severeid can come through here. He's only batting $111. No homers and no RBIs. Sisler down at third. They'll play the infield back. That's going to be a base on balls. So Hank gets down to first. Might not be a bad call. Try to get a double play out of Marty McManus here. So runners on first and third. They'll play back for the double play. Marty's batting .222. No homers and one RBI. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Can they turn two? 55 and a 9. That's going to be fielding column 1. And that's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. That gets them out of the inning. But the Orioles scored 2 on the Rice home run. Take a 2-0 lead. We go to the bottom of the first. The Orioles 2. Appling, Collins, and Bonera due up here. Luke's batting .333. No homers and 2 RBIs going up against HOYT Wilhelm. And this is HOYT's 1959 season. He pitched in 32 games, started 27, 15 and 11 with a 2.19 ERA. Here's the pitch to Luke. And that's going to be a base hit. And just like that, here comes these White Sox like they did in the first game of this doubleheader. Let's see here against 18. That's going to be a single in the center field, I believe. An 18, yep, a single in the center field. So Luke's aboard here with a base hit. That brings up Eddie Collins now. Nobody out. Runner down at first. And Collins is batting $125. Now the Orioles are looking to turn two. Here's the pitch to Collins. And that's going to be a comebacker to the mound. 61 on a 2. That might be fielding column 2. And it is. And they'll get the runner out at. He'll strike him out, as a matter of fact. That's a swing and a miss. Strikes old Eddie out for out number 1. And here comes old Bonera up now. And Zeke is batting $143, 1 homer and 1 RBI. And that's going to be the old tailor-made double play down the wall. It's 6-4-3. Both teams turn double plays. White Sox come up empty. We go to the top of the second. It's 2-0 Baltimore. They got Clift, Wallace, and Wilhelm due up here, the bottom part of the order. Clift is batting $111, no homers, and no RBIs. Orioles trying to at least get 1 game out of this. That's a fly ball in the center field. Reynolds makes the catch for out number 1. Here comes Bobby Wallace up now. And Bobby is batting .286, no homers and 1 RBI. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And that's going to be a boot by Apba. That's an E6. And the Orioles got a 1-out runner aboard. Wilhelm's up. He's going to try to bunt him down the second, get him in scoring position for Jacobson. And Wilhelm, first bat of the year. This is his 1959 year. Batted .053, no homers and 2 RBIs. Trying to lay down a bunt here. 29 and 14 on a 1. And that'll be fielding column 1. That'll be 2 missed bunt attempts. Here's the 2-0-2 pitch. And that'll be a 30. Sacrifice. And that'll be down the third. Nice job. Weaver's up with it. His only play will be over to first with Collins covering. And that'll be out number 2. But the runner gets in scoring position for Baby Doll. Can the Orioles add some insurance runs here? Hey, Phillips. And Baby Doll is 1 for 1 today. Singled his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Mini Mioso. That'll end the inning. We go to the bottom of the second. we got Reynolds, Mioso, and Falk due up here. Reynolds is batting .250 on the year, no homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be a comebacker to Hoyt. He fires over to Sisler. That'll be out number 1. That'll bring up Minnie Mioso now. And Minnie is batting .333 with a homer and 3 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Jacobson in center. 2 up and 2 down. And Bibby's up now. Bib Falk is batting .571. No homers and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the cliff over to first. And that'll end the inning as the White Sox go in order. To the top of the third we go. We got Rice, Sisler, and Williams due up here. Rice is 1 for 1 with a 2-run homer first time up. And that's going to be against a 20. That's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Minnie's got room out there. Makes the catch for out number 1. And up steps George Sisler now. George hit a double his first time up. And that's going to be a base on balls. The Orioles will take that and get a runner down at first with 1 out for Ken Williams. See if Ken can deliver here. George down at first. He grounded out to the pitcher his first time up. And against a 20 and 11. That is going to be a single in the right field. A 28. So that'll be a 54 or lower. George makes it down the third. And he's down at third. So base hit in the right field makes it first and third and 1 out. And just like that, the Orioles are knocking on the door for some more runs. And the White Sox will play back for the double play. Hank's not very fleet of foot. He walked his first time up. Here's the pitch to Hank. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes. Nope, that's going to be a walk. He's going to load the bases. Nowhere to put them now. And McManus steps up here. Can Marty deliver here? Bases juiced. George Sisler at third. Ken Williams at second. Hank Severone at first. And Marty McManus at the plate. He hit into a double play his last time up. And not this time, folks. He squares this one up. And that ball is hit out into left field. That'll score 2 on the double. Let's see if Hank can score from first. Out in the center field. Reynolds gets it. 57. There's only 1 out, ain't there? Yep, that'll be a 42. He's not probably going to score. Reynolds doesn't have a very good arm, though. 22. The score from first. Who's up next? Clift and then Wallace with only 1 out. 22. That'll be a 44. He's going to stop at third. So we're going to have second and third now. And it is now 4-0. That'll bring up Cliff with runners down at second and third. And that's going to force the White Sox to bring the infield in. Cliff flew out to center field his first time up. Here's the pitch to Harlan. And that's going to be a pop up down the first. And that'll be out number 2. Now it's all up though. Bobby Wallace to add some more runs here. The Orioles already, another bats game. Hopefully this game goes better than the first one, Ken. If you go back and watch the first one, I had a lot of problem with internet and streaming it on SteamYard. Here's the pitch to Bobby Wallace. He reached on an error the first time up, and that's going to be a 39. That's going to be a catcher. He is a 9 on a 64. That still might be column number 3. And it is. And that's going to be a foul out Nice play by Sherman. That'll end the inning. But the Orioles scored 2 more and make this a 4-0 ball game. They've been here before against these White Sox. And we got Weaver, Lohr, and Smith due up here in the bottom of the third, the bottom part of the order. And Buck Weaver is 1 for 1 on the year. Here's the pitch to Buck. And that's going to be against a 17-9. That's going to be a base hit. So Buck Weaver beats that throw down the first and gets aboard here with an infield hit. And that brings up Sherm now. And Sherm's batting 200 on the year, no homers and 1 RBI. Hey, D. Scott. And that's going to be a 9 against that 16. And that's going to be another infield hit. They're nickel and diming Hoyt to death here in this inning. So another ground ball and another base runner. And all of a sudden the White Sox are making some noise. And Frank Smith's up with runners on first and second. He's going to try to lay down a bunt and get both of them in the scoring position here, folks. And Mike Sports Time Machine's in the house. Yeah, it irritates me sometimes, Mike. Like I say, kept not picking up the mic and all kinds of weird shit. So Frank, this is his first plate appearance of the year. This is his 1909 season. He batted a .173, no homers and no RBIs. He's going to try to lay down a bunt here with nobody out. And that's going to be a nice sacrifice. That bunt's down the third. That'll get the runners up one base. The only play Cliff Scott is over to first with McManus covering. So now you're going to have second and third, and the Orioles will play back with a 4-run lead. They'll give up an out, give up a run for some outs here. So we get to the top of the order, and Luke Apba, he singled his first time up. Here's the pitch to Luke. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Williams is out there. See here, 25 with a 1. What fielding's that going to be? A 25 and a 1. And that'll be fielding column number 2. And we need to re-roll a dice here. And that'll be a 53. And Weaver should score easy on that. Williams doesn't have a very strong arm, so Buck Weaver will score. See if Sam can make it down the second. That'll be the question. 43. Because Sherm doesn't have very good speed. 21. He's already in scoring position. They're going to hold him up there at second. That'll be a sacrifice fly. That'll get the White Sox on the board now. Make it a 4-1 ball game. And Sherm's still down at second for Eddie Collins. Can Eddie come up with a 2-out base hit? And Collins is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. He's struggling a little bit at the start of this year. And as soon as I say that, that's going to be a 18 and an 8. And that's going to be a nice play down there at second by Marty. He comes up with it, fires over to first. And that'll be the inning. White Sox score 1 on the sacrifice fly. We go to the top of the fourth. It's 4-1 Orioles. We got Wilhelm back to the top of the order, and Jacobson and Rice. Yeah, exactly. They're 0-2, Ken. They got off to a 4-0 start in game number 2 and gave up 5 runs in the first inning. Game did go into extra innings though, but the White Sox pulled it off. Yep, they sure are going to struggle. That's for sure. Yep, we got Wilhelm up here now. He had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. And that ball is going to be hit down the third. That's going to be an E5 on Weaver. So this is his first game starting, and right away he gives up a bobbled ball. Wilhelm's down at first. Not what you want when you're trailing 4-1. And that brings up Baby Doll 1 for 2. He is flown out and singled. And he gets a hold of this one, folks, and that ball is ripped in the right field. That'll be a double. And of course, Wilhelm, he's not going nowhere. He's going to stop at third. And now it's second and third. And nobody out. And again, it's going to force the White Sox to bring the infield in, down by 3. And that brings up Bryce. He already homered in this game, folks, and flew out the left field. Here's the pitch to Harry. And that's going to be a 20 and an 8. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. And let's see, on a 46. Bibby's got a decent arm out there. A 33 or higher, lower. He's going to score, folks, and make this a 6-1 ball game. So that's going to be a 63 or lower. And he's in there. So that's a 2 RBI single. And just like that, Orioles are up 6-1 now with George Sisler at the plate with a runner down at first and nobody out. And they're warming up the bullpen already, are the White Sox. Sisler's 1 for 1. He's doubled and walked. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. Can they get 2 out of this? No. They're going to get a swing and a miss is what they're going to get. So he strikes George out. And that brings up Ken Williams for out number 1. And Williams is 1 for 2. He is singled and grounded out to the mound. And that's going to be a 20 and an 8. That's going to be a fly ball in the right field. Bibbs got it for out number 2. And that brings up Hank now. 2 outs and Rice still down at first. He's walked twice today. Has got to put the ball in play. And that's going to be a 9 against a 20. That's going to be a single. Beats out an infield hit. Hank, a real slow roller, especially with his speed, but he gets an infield hit. Now it's first and second and 2 outs. Frank Smith struggling here in this 4th inning. And that brings up Marty McManus. He's doubled, 2 RBI double and grounded into a double play. And that's going to be hit down the short. Appling will go to short way over to second. And that'll end the inning. But the Orioles scored 2 more and make it a 6-1 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 4th. We got Bonera, Reynolds, and Mioso due up here. Yeah, as soon as you say that, exactly. That's how it always works, Ken. Yep. And Bonera grounded into a double play his first time up. And that's going to be it's the 19. It's going to be a fly ball in the right field. Rice makes a nice catch for out number 1. And up steps Carl Reynolds now. And Reynolds is 0 for 1. He grounded out to the pitcher his first time up. That's going to be a fly ball out the right field. 2 fly balls to Rice, 2 outs. So it's up to Minnie Mioso to get on here. Try to get some of these runs back. They're down by 5. He flew out the center his first time up. And he's going to give left field a try instead of right. But Ken Williams is up to the task. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. To the top of the 5th we go. Clift, Wallace, and Wilhelm due up the bottom part of the order. Clift is 0 for 2, flew out and popped up to first. And that's going to be a ground ball down to first. And Zeke takes it himself for out number 1. Brings up Bobby Wallace. And Bobby is 0 for 2. Reached on an air and popped up to the catcher. That's going to be a ground ball down to Buck Weaver. He makes the play this time, fires over the first. 2 up and 2 down, and it's up to Hoyt Wilhelm to keep this inning alive. He is 0 for 1. He sacrificed and reached on an error and came around to score. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field, and the Orioles go down 1-2-3. To the bottom of the 5th we go. And we got Falk, Weaver, and Lohr. And Bibbs 0 for 1. He grounded out to his counterpart down at, it's grounded out the third, rather. Didn't ground out the right field. And that's going to be a well hit ball. As Falk squares it up, drives that ball into the gap in right field. Rice isn't getting to that one. That's off the wall for a double to start this inning. And that brings up Buck Weaver. Weaver is 2 for 2 today, folks. It's got a chance here at getting a run in. 1 for 1, rather. So Weaver is 2 for 2 on the year. So can he keep up this perfect year here? Here's the pitch to Buck. And that's going to be a pop up behind home plate. Hank throws the mask off, makes the catch for out number 1. First time Weaver's been out. That brings up Sherman Lohr. And Sherman is 1 for 1. He singled his first time up. And that's going to be a 36. Wow pitch 2. And that is a wow pitch. So that puts Bibb down at third now with 1 out. The Orioles with a 5-run lead will play the infield back. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Sherm. And 35, that's a 42. And he gets plunked, folks. A wild pitch and then a hit batter. And all of a sudden, Hoyt and that knuckleball must really be dancing out there. And that'll bring up Frank Smith. And I think they're going to have pitch hit for Frank. He's already given up 6 runs. So they're going to bring out a pitch hitter here for Frank. See who's going to come off the bench. Oh, yeah, this bat's, it's a wonderful set, Mike. Yeah, it's the pre-1961 set. So from 1875 up to 1960, the best players on each team, the original 16 before the expansion. So he's going to pitch hit here. Is Nellie Fox, or is it going to be the Hopper, Harry Hopper? And Harry's going to come off the bench here with first and third, 1 out, and that'll be it for Frank. Not a very good day for Smith. So we got first and third now, and Harry's going to come off the bench. See what old Hooper can do. He hasn't had an official bat yet this year, folks. So here's the pitch to Harry. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. And a 33 on a 1 is probably going to be fielding column 3. And barely fielding column 3. And that's going to be a single in the left field. That's going to score Bibb. That's going to be an error. It's going to get the runner down the third. So he bobbles the ball. Base hit by Harry. Gets a run in. And all of a sudden, that'll be an E7, and a runner down at first will get 2 bases. So it'll still be first and third. And back to the top of the order. And now a 6-2 ball game. Hoyt Wilhelm shaking his head. Should be first and second, he's thinking. Luke Apley's up. He's 1 for 1 with a sacrifice fly RBI and a single. Here's the pitch to Luke. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Jacobson's got it. see here, 45 and a 2. It should be fielding column number 2, I would think. And it is. And a 54. And Sherm doesn't have much speed. We'll check here. And with 2 outs, he's going to try a 27. So a 53 or lower. That'll be a sacrifice fly. Here's the throw, and he's in there safely. So Appling with a sacrifice fly makes this a 6-3 ball game and cuts the lead in half. Now there's 2 outs with Harry down at first for Eddie Collins. As the White Sox are trying to ease their way back into this. Collins is 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. And that's going to be an 8 against us, 18. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Hoyt. He fires over to first. That'll end the inning. But the White Sox scored 2 and trail this game 6-3 now. You got a bunch of righties do a righty, a lefty, and a lefty. Use both of their lefties. They're going to let Red Farber come out here and pitch. They used both of their lefties in the other game. So Farber, old Red's going to come out here and pitch. This is Red's 1921 season. Might be Red's first appearance of the year here. Oh, Faber. See what he can do here if he can keep this a 3-run game. And this will be Red's first appearance of the year. He pitched in 43 games, started 39, was 25 and 15 with a 2.48 ERA. He'll be facing the top of the order in Jacobson, Rice, and so 1 down here, and see if Rice can get things going. Try to get some more insurance runs. He's 2 for 3 with a homer and 4 RBIs, folks. A 2-run home and a 2-run single. And that's going to be hit in the left field. And Manny Mioso's out there. 61, that's still going to be column number 3. It sure is. And that's going to be a single. And he's going to get the second. Harry is on the error out there. So that's going to be an E7, and the runner's down at second now. So it's going to be a base hit. It's going to be an E7, and the runner's down at second. And that brings up George Sisler now. Faber's out there shaking his head now like Hoyt was. Defense is letting these guys down. Sisler's 1 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. Has a double here. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And he's going to look the runner back to second. No, he's not. Yeah, he's going to look the runner back to second. Fire over to first. And that'll be out number 2. So Harry's still down at second for Ken Williams here. And he come up with a 2-out base hit. Williams is 1 for 3. He singled, grounded out to the pitcher, and flew out to right. And that's going to be a base on balls. Williams is going to walk on down to first. And that brings up Hank Severine with runners on first and second. Hank's 1 for 1. He's walked twice, then singled his last time up. Here's the pitch to Hank. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Appling. He'll go the short way over to second. And the Orioles strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 6th. We got Bonnier, Reynolds, and Minnie Mioso due up here. And Zeke is 0 for 2, grounded out and flew out. Here's the pitch to him. And that's going to be a rare play, a 53 on a 37. A 53 on a 37. That's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 1 on Bonnier. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Jacobson in center field for out number 1. And that brings up Carl Reynolds now, trying to get aboard here. The White Sox down by 3. Reynolds is 0 for 2, grounded out to the pitcher and flew out to right. And that's going to be a 19 and an 8. It's going to be a fly ball out there. Rice, nice play out there. 2 up and 2 down. Brings up Minnie now. Mioso get aboard here with 2 outs. And he's 0 for 2. He's flown out the center and the left. And he's going to rare play here. A 64 on a 40. And that's going to be hit down the first. And Sisler will have to re-roll some dice here. A 55 and a 5. 55 and a 5. That's still going to be column number 1. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. Hoyt comes up with it, throws over to first, and that'll end the inning. White Sox go down in order. We go to the top of the 7th, and it is still 6-3 Baltimore. You got McManus, Clift, and Wallace due up here. Marty 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI double. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Marty out. That's his first strikeout of the game for Red after coming in. That brings up Clift now. And he's 0 for 3. He's flown out, popped up, and grounded out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. 2 outs now. And that brings up Wallace. He's 0 for 3. Reached on an error, popped up to the catcher and grounded out the third. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. And 35 on a 1. That's going to be fielding column number 3. That's going to be an E1. And Wallace is going to get down to first. And that's the 4th error given up by the White Sox today, folks. Can't win ball games like that. Hoyt's going to stay out here with 2 outs. He's not pitching bad, so they're going to let him hit. He's reached on an error, had a sacrifice bunt, and flew out to right. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. That'll end the inning. And we go to the 7th inning stretch. And we got Falk, Weaver, and Lohr due up here for the White Sox. Bibbs 1 for 2 with a double and grounded out the third. And that's going to be a 9 against a 16. That's going to be an infield hit. Bibbs starts this inning off with a ground ball that nobody can get to, and they just pick it up. So Bibbs down at first for Buck Weaver now. Weaver's 1 for 2 today. Singled and popped up to the catcher. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And an 8 on a 52. And that's going to be fielding column 1 barely. And that's going to get the lead runner. So over to second he goes. Weaver's down at first now for Sherm. And Sherm do something here. Down by 3. Need to do something. They're running out of outs. He's singled and been hit by a pitch. And that's going to be base on balls. Wilhelm now starting to struggle. And that'll be it for Red. So we'll take him out. Have a pitch hitter here. And that's going to bring up Nelly Fox is going to come off the bench. Oh, Nelly. With runners on first and second and 1 out. Orioles looking to turn 2. Can Nelly Fox, one swing of the bat, tie this ball game up, folks? And Nelly, this is his first at bat of the year. This is his 1951 season. He batted .313 with 4 homers and 55 RBIs. Here's the pitch box. And a 7 against 18. That's going to be a single. No, that's barely going to drop in there in the left field. And Weaver, he's going to hold up at third. He's not going to take a chance here, folks. Get thrown out. His run means nothing. So that's going to be a base hit in the left field. Bases are going to be juiced now. And Luke Appling's up. And that'll get the bullpen up for sure now for the Orioles. 1 out, bases loaded. And the lefty's coming up. And Eddie, they got Hamilton getting ready in the bullpen for Luke Appling. Is 1 for 1 with a 2 RBIs. He's had 2 sacrifice flies, folks. Here's the pitch to Luke. 1 out, bases juiced. And that's going to be a 9 against an 18. And that is going to be a fly ball out the center field. Is he going to get another RBI sacrifice fly here, folks? A 66 and a 55. Weaver's going to score easy. That throw's going to come in the third. So that's another sacrifice fly by Appling. And it makes it 6-4. And that's going to be it for HOYT. He's coming out of the game, and they're going to bring the lefty in to face Collins. And Hamilton will come out of the bullpen. So HOYT goes 6 2/3. Can't complete this game. And you got the tying run at first, the go-ahead run at the plate. As Earl comes into the game. This is Earl's 1913 season. This will be Earl's first appearance. In 1913, he pitched in 31 games, started 24, was 13 12 with a 2.57 ERA. Eddie's 0 for 3. He struck out, grounded out the second into the mound, and that's going to be a 36 wild pitch. And that is going to be a wild pitch. So now you got second and third. Let's see here. First and second is what that was supposed to be. Let's make sure that's still a wild pitch. First and second. Wild pitch 0. Yep. So now you got second and third. 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch to Collins. And that's going to be a base on balls. That fills the bases. So like I say, the tying run at second. Go ahead. This game's gotten real interesting real quick here. And Zeke up. He's 0 for 3. Bonier's grounded out, flown out the right and center. Here's the pitch to him. And that's going to be a base on balls. Hamilton walks in the run, and it is now 6-5. And now they got somebody else warming up in the pen. And it looks like Kramer's warming up. Jack Kramer is. So here's the pitch to Reynolds. He's 0 for 3. He's grounded out and flown out the right twice. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. He'll fire over to first to get the out. But the White Sox score 2, make it 6-5. Yeah, darn. Excuse me. So you got the top of the order due up here. And we'll see who's going to come out the pitch here for the White Sox. Pen here and pitch. Got lefty. Let's see here. They might bring on the lefty. Let's see how many. See who pitched the least amount here between Lee and White. White 21 pitches. How about Lee? Pitch, since you got these lefties coming out. So Doc White comes out of the bullpen. Trying to keep this a one-run game. He'll face Jacobson and then a bunch of lefties coming up. And Jacobson's having a fine game here, folks. He's 2 for 4 with a double. Scored twice. He's hit out the third his other 2 times up. This is Doc's second appearance. No record. He has 1 save on the year. Here's the pitch to Jacobson. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. So Doc gives up a leadoff single. Here comes Rice. The Orioles are only up by 1 after being up 6-1. Trying to blow this game. Rice is 3 for 4 with a homer, 2-run homer, a 2-run double. Here's the pitch to Rice. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Can they go around the horn and get the double play? And that's going to be fielding column 3. They will get the runner out at second. Well, that's all they'll get. So now you got Rice down at first for George. Some damage here and give the Orioles some insurance here. He's 1 for 3 with a double, and he's walked, struck out, and grounded out to short. And that's going to be a rare play here with a runner on first on a 37, a 36 on a 37 with a runner on first. 36 and a 37. It'll be to the left field. Minnie is a 2. 24 and a 2 should be fielding column 24 and a 2. That'll be fielding column 1. And that's going to be a fly out to left field. Minnie makes a nice play for out number 2. And now you got Ken Williams, another lefty up here. Can Doc White get these lefties out? And White is going to face Ken Williams, who's 1 for 3 with a walk. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes. Can Williams take advantage of this 2-0 count? And no, that's going to be a fly ball out the bib in right field. So the lead off single doesn't go nowhere. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still 6-5. And I think that's going to be it for Hamilton. I think a bunch of righties are due up. Righty, a lefty, and both pitch this inning. Got the lefty and then the switchy. And Weaver doesn't hit lefties well, so he's going to stay in here. Mioso's 0 for 3, grounded out the pitcher and flown out the center and right. Yeah, exactly, Ken. It's been wonderful. I'm loving this. That's going to be a single in the right field. So right away, the White Sox get the tying run on it first. And Bibb Falk's up now. And he is 2 for 3 with a double and a single, grounded out the third the other time. Orioles looking to turn 2 here. And against the 24. That's going to be a pop-up down the short. Wallace has got it for out number 1. Here comes Buck Weaver now. And will they pitch hit for Weaver? That is the question. And yep, Willie Cam's going to come off the bench to pitch hit. So that'll be it for Weaver. This Cam will come in here. And will. Question is, will that be it for Hamilton? Got 2 righties. Lefty due up. And I think that's going to be it for Hamilton. And they're going to bring in the big boy, Zoop. It's going to come in. They're going to bring in a righty to pitch to Cam. Try to nail this ball game down here, folks. Okay, where's he at here? There's George. Okay, so George gets ready to come into the game. Try to hold this to a 1-run win.
Zivering.
That's it for Hamilton. And Zivering is going to pitch in his first game. Pitched in 56 games, was 10-6 with a 2.48 ERA. Like I say, Willie Cam, this is his first plate appearance. He's 0 for 6 on the season. Minnie Mioso down at first with the 1 out, trailing by 1. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Williams and left. That'll be out number 2. It's up to Sherm here to get something going in the 8th. And Sherm is, of course, now the game wants to slow down on me. Seems like every time I make a pitching change or something. Really slow. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, get your hot dogs. And Sherm is 1 for 1. He's walked twice, been hit by a pitch and singled. And that's going to be another hit by pitch, unless he's an HB. No, he hits him again. And the White Sox come out of the dugout, folks. They are not happy. Sherm's been hit twice. That puts the tying run at second base. I sure don't think George did it on purpose, but the White Sox go back to the dugout, and that'll bring up White now. We'll have a pitch hitter here for White. So who's going to come off the bench here? I think they're out of lefties on the bench. And they are. Let's see who they're going to bring out here. I think old Happy's going to come off the bench here. Happy Felsch is going to come out here and pitch hit for Doc White. With 2 outs, runners down at first and second. And this is Happy's first plate appearance. This is his 1920 season. He batted .338, 14 homers, 115 RBIs. Here's the pitch from George. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. He'll go over to second to short way. That'll end the inning. And they strand two. We'll go to the top of the ninth. It's still 6-5 Baltimore. Let's see, he's going to come out here and pitch here. And Stanley's going to come out here and pitch. Try to keep this a 1-run ball game. What year is this for Stanley? 1959. Where's Stanley at? There's Jerry. That is the question. Stanley comes in here to keep this a 1-run ball game. Play third. Forgot about that. And that should take care of everything. All righty, we got Hank Severine due up here. He's 1 for 2 with 2 walks, reached on the fielder's choice, so he's been on base every time. And not this time. That's going to be a fly ball out to Minnie Mioso in left field for out number 1. And up comes Marty here. Can McManus get aboard here with 1 out against Stanley? And Stanley, like I say, pitched in 67 games. He was 8-5 with a 2.24 ERA in 1959. Here's Marty now. He's 1 for 4 with a 2 RBI double. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Stanley. He fires over to first for out number 2. And that'll bring up Clift here. Can he get a 2-out rally started? Are we going to go to the bottom of the ninth with a 1-run game? And Clift is 0 for 4. He is flown out, popped up the first, and grounded out the first 3 times. So don't be hitting it down the first, Clift. And that's going to be a rare play. 39 and a 54. 39 and a 54. And that'll be a swing and a miss, strike 1 on Clift. Let's see what he does here with the 0-1 count here. So we get back to the bases empty chart. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Appling's up with it. Fires over to first, and that'll do it. 1, 2, 3 goes the Orioles. We go to the ninth. We got the top of the order due up here. Appling, Collins in, Bonnier, 10. George, get this 2-inning save here. Luke is a perfect 1-for-1, 3 RBIs and 3 sacrifice flies on the day, folks. Singled and 3 sacrifice flies. He's not getting a sacrifice fly this time. We know that much. But he is going to square this ball up against George. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. So Luke's aboard here with nobody out. And that brings up Eddie Collins now with a tying run at first, go ahead run at the plate. Collins is 0-for-3 with a walk. He struck out, grounded out twice, and like I say, walked. Here's the pitch to Collins, and that's going to be an 8 against 16. That's going to be a fly ball. That's going to be a pop up on the infield, and who's calling for it? Cliff calls for it down there in third near the bag, makes the catch for out number 1. Luke stays put. Bonnier's up now with 1 out, and Luke still down there at first. And Bonnier's 0-for-3 with an RBI walk. Here's the pitch to him, and that's going to be a catcher here is an 8 on a 45. An 8 on a 45. And that's going to be fielding column 1. Ball runner called off first. If neither team leads by more than 4 runs after the 5th inning. And no, so Appling gets picked off at first. And now there's 2 outs and nobody on. You cannot do that. What a base running blunder by Luke. I know he was thinking about taking off, but you gotta make it. Gets picked off at first. Now there's 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Zeke. And I thought for sure he'd get a hit here. But that's going to be a rare play, a 56 on a 41. 56 on a 41 is going to be ball 1. So the 1-0 pitch to Zeke. One can get a double or something here, folks. No, that's a swing and a miss, and that'll end the ball game. But Luke Appling's in the dugout, and these White Sox fans aren't happy. It's picked off at first. Then the Orioles come out of Chicago with at least 1 game here. White Sox win 2 out of 3, but the Orioles win the last one. Take a look here at the box score. Excuse me. Let's see something. I screwed up. We got another game. I got to go back and do another game. They had a double hitter and I didn't play it. Thought I did. Alrighty, we'll go back and do that next. So I did it out of order here. So not what I wanted. Orioles 6 runs on 10 hits and an error. White Sox 5 runs, 9 hits and 4 errors. Rice and Jacobson 3 for 5, both of them. Nice job at the top of that order. Rice with a homer, and the Orioles were 2 for 8. Runners in scoring position, left 10 men on base. And you had Appling and Falk with 2 base hits apiece. They was 2 for 5, Chicago was. And they left 7 men on base. Wilhelm gets the win, goes 6 2/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, only 4 of them were earned. Walked 1 and struck out 1. Oh, exactly, Ken. I agree with you. Hamilton gets the hold, goes 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, walk 2, and George comes in, gets the save, an inning and 2/3, 1 hit, and struck out 1. Smith picks up the loss. He got beat around 5 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, walked 3, struck out 1, gave up 1 home run. Favored 2 innings, 1 hit, walked 1, struck out 1. Doc White an inning, 1 hit, and Stanley 1 inning. And that's your ball game, folks. Give me a few minutes and we'll have another game here between the White Sox and the Orioles since I screwed up and forgot to play a double hitter. I want to thank Ken Castro, Sports Time Machine Mike for stopping in, P. Scott Howard, and Philip Reynolds. Like I say, give me a few minutes and we'll have game number 3 of this 4-game series. Till then, you all have a great day and take care.